All right, we're plugging through the board meeting. We're going to get through this. Might take me 10 episodes, but I'm going to get through this. We still got 2 hours to go. Let's keep going.
The resolution 22-05.
Oh yeah, this is okay. We already watched this. This is Steve Witter. You're wonderful. You're great. You've done everything. You've been the great leader we've always wanted. Blah blah blah. What a bunch of nonsense.
31, adopting the fiscal year 2023 annual budget
and
appropriating funds. Mr. General Manager.
All right. So we're on the budget. Is this the right one? Maybe. Is it Raymond? Where's? Boy, they got all kinds of shit here. They got a huge. Okay, so they're not going in order. This is this one. Yeah, this mainstream media has gone bananas on this. And how did you see the mainstream media articles on this? TRIMET budget prioritizes riders and safety and everything good, but doesn't talk about anything else. Let's hear what the hack has to say about it.
President Simmons, members of the board, I request your authorization of TRIMET's fiscal year 2023 budget, the final step in the process to set the $1.9 billion budget for the fiscal year starting July 1st. The budget
$1.9 billion. Billion. Okay. Sorry, I'm always distracted when I'm doing that.
Prioritize projects to make bus and MAG service faster and more reliable. It accelerates TRIMET's adoption of clean fuel technologies. It continues investment in our support for riders with low incomes, and it seeks to restore our workforce. As a reminder,
it seeks to restore our workforce. What are you talking about? You haven't raised the salaries. Okay, you have not raised the salaries. It doesn't seek to restore the workforce because you haven't changed anything about that. What do you mean it seeks to restore your workforce? The budget has nothing to do with it unless you're increasing the salaries.
Fiscal year 2023 budget does not include an increase in base fares for the 10th straight year.
10 straight years. They're so proud of that. Squeeze the serfs. They haven't squeezed the serfs. Well, TRIMET already is still 10 years later among the top fare for transit agencies, except for the day ticket, which is actually a good deal for any transit agency anywhere. That $5 day ticket is probably the best deal in the country.
The budget has been approved by the Multnomah County Taxation Supervision.
Yeah, we watched that, remember? What a joke that was. They asked good questions, but they didn't get good answers, and they didn't follow up the questions.
And Conservation Committee, which found TRIMET's fiscal year estimates to be reasonable and in compliance with local budget law. With that, I ask for your approval.
Yeah, this is it.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
They're not even going to just... Oh, wait, that's right. They do the motion first, and then they ask questions.
So moved.
Thank you, Director Gonzalez. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Edwards.
Don't you think the question should come before making a motion? I mean, don't you think you should ask some questions before you even make a motion?
Been moved and seconded. Does anyone wish to make any comments?
Not even.
Hearing none.
Not even a comment. $1.9 billion approved.
Going to call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Yes. Is anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Oh boy.
Moving on to the next resolution.
All right. Well, that was so nothing that we'll do 2 in 1.
22-05-32, authorizing a contract with Reese complete security solutions for building access control maintenance, repair, and installation,
Where's
and
that?
intrusion detection consultation services. Mr. General Manager,
Oh, here it is.
your comments.
Thank you, President Simmons, members of the board. I ask for your authorization of a contract to provide maintenance, repairs, upgrades relating to building access and alarm monitoring for TRIMET facilities, transit centers, and elevators. For this contract, TRIMET issued a request for proposal, and Reese, which is also the current contractor, emerged as the highest qualified proposal. The proposed contract would cover 5 years of service at a cost not to exceed $2.67 million. The amount is included in the Safety and Security Division budget. Reese has about 70 employees. The firm plans to use its workforce to perform services under the contract. For diversity, about 16% of the firm's workforce is minority, and more than 17% identifies as female. Your recommended approval of the resolution
Is that, why do they even consider that anymore? And is 17% not many? Is it? I mean, I don't know. What's the minority in Portland? I think it might, well, actually, I think it's less than that. Minorities make up even less than that in Portland.
recommended.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved. Lori.
Thank you, Director Bellman. A second?
Second. Lewis.
Thank you, Director Lewis. It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone wish to make any comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now moving to
Well, I don't know. What is there to say about this, really? I mean, whatever. I have nothing to say about that. Okay, next. Will be
Resolution
3.
22-05-33, contract modification for Flecky Northwest Sales Incorporated for replacement vehicles for the lift service.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Mr. General Manager.
Wait a minute. This was a good one. Hold
It's
on.
a good-
Hold on. Let me see. Let me find that. Reese. Okay, here it is. I like this one. Okay, this one I remember reading and I was in. So this is a contract modification. Okay, so they're adding money to a contract. TriMet's lift consists of 268 lift-equipped buses, which require regular replacement. TriMet's goal is to replace lift vehicles after 10 years and 232,000 miles. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, on March 24th, the board authorized the general manager to enter in a contract $9 million with SECI for the purchase of 124 lift vehicles. So that's a dealer. Okay, I don't know who this is. Shetke. Who is that? Let me look it up real quick. There it is right there. Here they are. Shetke Sales. Here they are right here. Oh, great web page. Nothing there. Okay, whatever. Let's listen to this.
Again, President Simmons, members of the board, this resolution requires authorization for 84 replacement vehicles for our lift paratransit services. This contract modification is required in part due to the impact of COVID-19 on vehicle production and cost. The board authorized a contract with...
No, it wasn't COVID-19. It was the government response to COVID-19. Let's get that clear. The government response to COVID-19, which didn't do anything but hurt regular people and the economy, has created this. This is not a result of the COVID-19. All of this mess is a response of the government. All of this mess is the response of government to the COVID.
With Shetke for 124 lift vehicles in 2018. TriMet was able to make purchases for fiscal years 2018 and 2019 under the agreement, but the pandemic interfered with the purchase plans.
No, the government shutdown interfered. Let's get it straight. It's important that you don't buy this misinformation because they're intentionally misinforming you with these things.
Why 20? Therefore, TriMet anticipates needing 84 replacement vehicles to continue our regular vehicle replacement program under this proposed contract modification. The cost of our lift paratransit vehicles, which are manufactured by Ford Fischetti, has more than doubled during the pandemic, from about $80,000 per vehicle to more than $170,000.
So how about that? The cost of a used car has gone up by about 20%, but the cost of the lift vehicles have gone up 100%. That's kind of interesting. They've doubled. See the scam, that the whole thing was a scam in order to get more money for everything. Do you understand? Everything that's happening right now is a scam. Everything. It's not a result of the pandemic. It's a result of the social engineering of the global elites.
By authorizing the agreement now, we have the ability to act before the state of Oregon competitive pricing bid expires. Action now gives TriMet the option to place additional orders with advantageous pricing. Shetty's workforce is made up of about 70 people, of whom 12% identify as female and 27% identify as minority. The firm plans to self-perform all of the work. The resolution before you today seeks authorization.
What do you mean self-perform the work? They go out and buy them and they get a commission. Why don't you just go to a dealer? I mean, why do you have a middleman between your purchase and the dealer? Well, we know the answer to that, don't we? Yes, we do. It's called crony capitalism.
For a contract modification in the amount of $14.3 million for a new total contract amount of $20.7 million.
So the contract went, it's 20.7. They just increased it by, it was 7 million. They just increased it by more than double as a result of the COVID pandemic and the money. And here it is. We have the money for it. You see here, we have the money for these increases. We just don't have any money for you drivers. We have the money for everything but you. Jeez. Example after example after example of this.
Contract is covered in the capital program's budget, and funding comes from our STIF grants, TriMet funds, and federal funds. And now requesting your approval of the resolution is recommended.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved. Thompson.
Thank you, Director Kim. Is there a second?
Second.
I think I hear Kath. Director Way, was that you?
Yeah.
Okay, Director Way seconded. Thank you. Does anyone wish to make any comments before we vote? Hearing none.
Sorry.
Oh, there
I
was.
haven't.
You know,
Actual
I was
question? You got to be kidding.
looking. Kath, Director Way?
Yes. I'm just curious. What happens to the lift vehicles we replace? Is there
Good. Let's hear the answer.
an opportunity
They sell them at Bar None. I don't think they use Bar None anymore. Let's see what they do with them now.
for us to work with nonprofit organizations and schools? I'm just curious what happens to the vehicles after we don't need them anymore.
This goes to show how little they know about all of this, because anybody that follows the material knows they sell them at auction. Good point, Ricky.
So great question, Director Way. I'm going to bring in our director.
Bring him in. I don't know the answer to that. Bring him in.
Margot Moore, and let I give you a quick overview of what takes place. Margot? You are muted, I think, still.
You are correct. Good morning, General Manager DeSue, President Simmons, and members of the board. My name is Margot Moore. I'm the Director of Accessible Transportation Programs. And recently,
We've got directors coming out of our ass. We've got directors, managers, and coordinators. Lots of those. No shortage of those people.
within the past 2 years, for your question, Director Way, I created a donation program for those buses.
What?
Previously, we were sending them to auction.
Yeah.
However, we found that it just made more sense to offer these to those within the community, especially group homes and areas where they could transport those individuals
Wow.
to grocery stores or wherever they may need to go.
Well,
The
good.
program has proved to be very successful. We have already donated in our last procurement, which of course was way back in 2019, we had already donated up to 6 vehicles.
6 vehicles. You got 100. You got 100. You got hundreds of these vehicles. 6.
We had Black Future Farms, which was a guy that grows his own fresh organic vegetables, and he gives those to lower income writers for free. We've also offered to various organizations
84.
that are working with those with disability. So again, any of these vehicles, once they are retired, we will again bring that program out and start looking for those in the community that we can donate those vehicles to.
All right. Well,
Wonderful. Thank you.
that's good. How can you that's good. Although that means that people like me can't buy any vehicles anymore. But I don't. I had my one chance and I didn't do it. I didn't realize it was going to be my only chance to buy a TriMet bus. Although the regular buses, I guess they're still going to auction, right? Yeah, I had one chance to do that and I didn't do it, which is unfortunate. I didn't realize I was going to be leaving Portland. I might be going back there soon though, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Director Gonzalez, you had your hand raised. I didn't know if you wanted to speak or not.
Thank you, President Simmons. Coincidentally, my question was the same as Director Wise. I was curious what happened with the old vehicles.
Okay, wonderful. All right.
Wonderful.
So let's go and have a vote then. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. That was all fairly routine, so I didn't get too excited over any of that. Okay, enough of this. Over and out, beat. Bye-bye.